What's going on, family? You know where I'm at. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I had to get it in today. Yeah. You know, self-care is the most important thing you can have. Number one, God, of course. Father God, not the God of this world. Let's get that fixed. A lot of people are like, oh, man. Woo, 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 woo. But no, I wanted to come on here to tell you guys that I love you guys. I'm proud of you guys. You always got to put that into the universe, man. Universe radiates and always comes back to one another, whether it's good karma or bad karma. And it's a brisk day out here. I like that. It's a perfectly brisk fall day. I got my hoodie on, made sure it's all warm and snug on me. Well, a little loose, but you know, it is what it is. I might have to get me a medium. I feel like I'm losing weight again, but you know, I ain't trying to. But no, family, I love how we all can always conversate and just talk to one another. And YouTube or just any social media site or just anywhere in this world, we can always find each other, the true chosen ones, the true angels of this earth, you know, the true light healers. You know, it's very rare for us to come across another chosen one or another light healer. But I come to you today to let you guys know that it's a lot of people that's going to continue to put you down, both mentally, spiritually, and physically. And you got to be prepared to withstand any kind of test whatsoever that's being thrown against you. And when I say thrown against you, I'm not literally saying thrown against like a wall for some people that may kind of get that misconstrued, but thrown against you as such as your true essence of how you control yourself inwardly. You know, because what you radiate comes back into the universe, which will come back to you 5, 10 years, maybe even 20 seconds from now. You never know. You know, as I mentioned previously in one of my videos about dealing with a degenerate who wanted to pull a gun on me, that's just a perfect example of how not to react to a situation. And reacting to various situations can lead to various consequences, both good and bad. I'm only saying that, family. Excuse me for a second, fam. Look at this. Look at this. This is just gorgeous, man. That is just beautiful. I'm at the YMCA park in Knoxville, Tennessee. But I say that because we sometimes forget to heal ourselves from deep within. And I understand to overstand that we all have, you know, responsibilities. Some people have kids. Some people have 2 jobs. Some people have 3 jobs. Some people have time where they don't really have enough time to sleep because they're so busy. But you can never truly regret yourself. Not regret, you should truly never forget and neglect yourself. That's what I meant to say. Versus forgetting who you are as a man or woman. And when I say forgetting yourself as a man or woman and not, you know, neglecting yourself, you know, making sure you get plenty of water, plenty of sleep, reassuring yourself, you know, on realistic, positive goals that's not too, I wouldn't say far or too hard to handle, but somewhat of a realistic time frame, you know? It's just, I came to the conclusion of many, many years of trial and error that you can have a plan to what you want to do and set in this life, but it's never going to be extremely concrete. And when I say extremely concrete, let me give an example to you guys. Like, let's say you wanted to move to a different state within 6 months. Now, granted, you could do that. That's very possible. You can set a goal, set your money, you know, whatever that you need to get to from point A to point B in 6 months. But when I say it's not entirely set in concrete, within that 6 months, your car could break down. God forbid you get evicted from your apartment because something just happened in a clause where you didn't read it, or a family member dies, or you just can't go to work because you're just feeling just so deep in depression, or you can't physically do it anymore because your body just gave out on you for many years of working. That's what I mean by it's not 100% set in concrete. Sometimes things is just abstract. And what I was saying about the conclusion of life, you got to be able to handle and adjust and be sure to be able to ride the roller coaster whatsoever. And how you doing, ladies? And that's what makes this life really great, because if you can go through this life without just cracking and folding and cussing out people or just emitting just low energy frequency, you'll be surprised how far you'll be as a man or as a woman. And when you go to places like this, where you see the beautiful trees, the closest thing to heaven, yeah, that's the closest thing to heaven in my definition. And that's better than anything on this earth. Literally. A perfect day to me, realistically, and we're just talking strictly nature. That's it. Strictly nature. Being outside on a day like this, pretty much the whole day, talking with my true friends who are really my family members. Just talk about how we just giving back to the community, loving ourselves, building on each other, because we're kings and queens. We're nothing less. We're not jokers. We're not peasants, but we deal with jokers and peasants when we go into the work day, when we leave our house every single day and night. And I just want you guys to just be safe out here, because it's about to get real serious within the next few months, next few days, next few years. Judgment Day gonna be here before we know it. And for the people that don't believe in God, I've seen quite a few people in real life and, YouTube, you got to remember, if you have evil in this world, should I say, you definitely have good in this world. The trees and grass and a beautiful sky, that didn't just pop up. You can't tell me there isn't God, the higher power, or the most high, some people may say. Just look at God's glory. This is God's glory, man. And being a part of your community is really good too. I like to give back any way, shape, form, or fashion the best way I can. When you give back to a person, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. You give back to a person by giving them words of encouragement. You give back to a person by giving them a smile on their face, by saying, I'm proud of you. I hope you're doing all right today. I hope you have a blessed day, a blessed morning. You give back to a person by just giving them something to eat, because you never knew if that was their last $10 in their pocket because they had to spend it for gas, or they don't get paid for another 3 to 4 days and they barely have anything to eat at all. If anything, like a cup of water or some noodles. I don't like to brag, because when you give back, that should just be between you, God, and that person. But whenever I see somebody in distress and I feel in my heart that they're real and genuine, I would do everything I can to get back to that person, even if I don't have anything myself. And that's what the gospel's preaching about for God's, children. Everybody on this earth is God's children, and we have free will. But it's up to us to know right from wrong and to do the right things. Because punishment, it may not be now, but you will face judgment. Trust me on that. I get a lot of people saying, if your God is real, and I'm just like, bro, you may not feel it now, but you will. Trust me, the afterlife is real. Hell is real. Heaven is real. It's very real. It's as real as me speaking on this phone. I'm not saying this to, scare anybody, but just, it did say in the last days that you have a lot of scoffers, a lot of non-believers, a lot of people that will just fight you against every step of the way. And I noticed that being 30 years old, things, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say things were perfect when I was a kid back in the early 2000s, late 90s. But I mean, things weren't as bad as it is today, should I say. All the wars and famine and men being women and women being men, and everybody's getting offended because they have two genital parts, or it's just some weird, nasty, creepy stuff that you shouldn't be seeing on TV. I don't have kids at all. I wouldn't dare bring a child into this world. I wouldn't dare do that. I don't care if I had all the money in the world. I wouldn't dare bring a child into this world. And even if I did have a child, I would raise the child to be like in an Amish setting, not literally Amish, but no technology, literally no technology, homeschool, or if I could afford it, a private school, but it'd probably be homeschool. Teach them everything about the earth, how to make, food, grow food, electrical engineering, but not just electrical engineering to make more money off a person, but to help other people out so we can create mass creators, so we can help a community and make our own community, get rid of all these elites and, government officials and Illuminati Masons. And it's not to offend anybody that's a Mason or a part of a government job, but just some of these people that's part of the brotherhood I have met are demonic. Let's just be honest. Not everybody, but there are some demonic people anywhere, any way, shape, form, or fashion that you go. Hell, there's demonic people in church. I met some. I knew a dude that sold weed to kids in church. Great guy. Not talking about what he was doing was great, but he was a cool dude. But it's just, you got to be mindful. We're living in the end times. And this incident was back in 2013 when the dude that sold weed to church. I mean, the kid is grown now. He was 14 back in 2013, so he's a grown man now. But just be careful out here. I know it just kind of dragged out a little bit, but I just wanted to put that out there real quick, before I get my day really started. I got a few errands to run and call my friend up later on, just little things like that. I love you guys, family. Peace and light as always from your boy, David Andre.